That will stay with him for the rest of his life, the rest of his starting career, and why not? It was a terrific shootout, and his response, well, a moment he'll savour for the rest of his days.
Finished with a 170 and started the final with a 180. And still the only time that's ever been done, I think. So it'll take some catching that record as Adrian Lewis hits the first 180 of the match. He hit 3 in the first round against Coast Stompy in that 10-7 win. Lands the first maximum in this one.
Yeah, they both won their first round games, 10-7. It was Lloyd, of course, who beat Wayne Jones. And Lewis, as you say, beating the Dutchman Coast Stompy.
59.
First game of the tournament that was, way back on the Sunday night. I think Adrian Lewis was a little bit edgy about opening up proceedings. The first game, it was an awkward one, the first game of the tournament, but he came through nicely enough in the end.
93.
Yeah, never was an opening batsman, but my, can he have the score flowing
56.
when he gets going?
Any cricketer would be happy to average 93.65 with the possible exception of Don Bradman, John. Sharp shooting from Colin Lloyd, great stuff, leaves himself a 2-darter.
Yes, and so far this is a match where the man throwing first is dominating, although this may be the exception to the rule so far. If Lloyd doesn't take out 96, an excellent 140 from Lewis sets him up nicely. Oh, fancy this for a break of throw, Rob.
Jaws bared his teeth in frustration, didn't he?
38.
Well, this is going to get interesting here, isn't it? 66 for Adrian Lewis, treble 10, double 18 is probably the route. 16, double top. For Adrian Lewis to break Colin Lloyd's throw. A frustrated Colin Lloyd.
Magnificent matches. Notably the 2004 final at Purfleet, Rod. We can sit back and enjoy that, can't we? It's going to be a cracker. This though, Lewis, 4-1 up, but I remember saying this in the Barneveld Van Gerwen game. Only one break ahead, and Lloyd must be mindful of that. Though the way they're throwing suggests to me that it's going to be very difficult for Lloyd to even break that, change that situation, and there it is illustrated perfectly with their 3-dart average.
20 points between them, or shade over 20 points between them. And the checkouts will tell a similar story. Colin Lloyd's only had 3 chances to land a double, and Adrian Lewis, who was checking out at 71% in the first game against Coast Stompy, has lifted that to 80, to even greater heights.
Yeah, it's terrific, it really is. I mean, anything, I believe, over 50 is excellent. When it gets over 60, it's remarkable, and when it gets over 70, it is absolutely fantastic. And even 40% is acceptable, 2 out of 5.
Running out of superlatives there, John. I wonder what you were going to say of over 80 or over 90. What was going to come from your vocabulary?
Fortunately, nobody does it. Taylor did in Las Vegas, not this time, last time round, and had an 83.5%. 11 out of 13 it was, Rod.
56.
Lloyd leaves himself tops, but this would wound him. This would wound Colin Lloyd here. This is going to be a killer if Lewis can hit double 11. That's a killer from Adrian Lewis. The nod of the head. Sensational finishing tournament.
Yeah, and I think it's something to do with what I said a few moments ago. I really do. I believe that he's not even yet a fully rounded player in the true sense, and like the great champions, got the talent, just got to really make the most of that talent and really force home the advantage once he gets it. I was saying even 4 years ago he had that lead over at Lloyd, and was throwing brilliantly at a 3-figure average then, similar to that which he's got now. And in the end, you know, he lost the game with about a 93 or 94 average. Took the foot off the pedal.
He's only 24, of course, and so has got, what, 3 decades in the game if he wants to. And, well, Dennis Priestley still going strong at 59, and we saw him beat today by Dennis Summers. But a word on Dennis Priestley, John. Beaten today, disappointed, but still taking the time down there to spend an hour signing autographs for everyone who wanted it. I mean, pure class, the man. Pure class.
I said to him, Dennis, thou's been sitting there longer than I was on stage. He said, yes, you're right.
He's still talking now that he may well be retiring in the next year or so. Well, my advice is catch him while you can, because he has been one of the greatest players this game has ever seen. It'll be a sad day when Dennis does put the darts away. Let's see what Adrian Lewis can do with this 2-4-1.
85.
Slack third dart, mock applause, sarcastic, ironic applause, but he's left himself 1-5-6.
And again, Lloyd just offline there, what would otherwise have been a very acceptable dart. But he's scored 28, hasn't he? So 90 left. Gets the triple 18 to his credit. This is a Lewis special. This is a Lewis special. This is a Lewis special. Oh, you just knew. You just knew. You just knew. That was asking for it. Lewis in this kind of form is just a bit special. And Lloyd knows it. Lewis knows it. We all know it. Second round match. First to 13, so still 6 to be won. And far from this game at this stage, seeing a sea change, rather appropriately here in Blackpool. And since there's a shark about too, it nevertheless has a feel about it that suggests there might be a Lloyd snapback. And Lloyd knows that his opponent might well have contributed towards it. He has been quite fantastic tonight, Adrian Lewis. But far from victory, you've got to keep your eyes on the job in hand. Yes, keep enjoying it, keep throwing brilliantly, but don't allow the matter, don't allow events to overtake you.
His game has noticeably dropped off though, John, hasn't it, from the early stages. Far better in the opening 5-leg session, Adrian Lewis. It's dropped off since then, and these statistics prove it.
Look at that, after 5 legs, Lewis was 25 points ahead of his opponent. He led 4-1. And in the next session, Lewis's average over the 5 legs was 94. Lloyd, what an improvement. And another session like that, and things could begin to happen. Still fancy Lewis will do it from here, but it ain't as certain as it once looked.
Does have these periods in games where he goes to sleep and just meanders along and drifts along for a few legs, doesn't he, Adrian Lewis?
Yeah, if you remember earlier in the contest, I said that was possibly a fault of his. But nobody enjoyed that little spell that he had there more than I did. It was absolutely fantastic. And this lad is going for tops now for an 8-3 lead and needs it. He needed it because now Lloyd 84 and this